Hey Monkey fam, hope everyone's doing well. Looking at the chart here, we're at around 343,000 market cap, up slightly 2.2% over the last 24 hours. You can see here the chart's looking solid after hopefully hitting bottom here just over 200,000. You see the gradual uptrend here over the last 2 or 3 weeks in the 340s, 330 range and creating that nice new floor here hopefully. So things are looking good overall. The top holders remain solid. We'll look at a little bit of analysis there, and nobody's selling for the most part, and things are looking good in terms of the top 40 holders. And so let's just talk about that. How much is held by the top 40 wallets here? And so you can look and see, if you recall, I'm comparing the current date, which is the 13th, back to the 2nd, and so this is what it's comparing here. You can see for the most part, there's no real selling. This one had sold a little bit a few days ago, which we saw, and this one's sold a little bit. But overall, you can see there's mainly increases over the last 10 or 11 days. And there's some nice increases in wallets, like this person went from 0.4% to 0.7%. And so you can see a few nice stories like that. This person went from 0.2 to 0.6. That's healthy, showing that we have a lot of folks that believe and are gradually accumulating. You might notice this wallet here, which has 18 million, and this looks like a transfer. If you go back to the first day, you can see here this wallet's now gone. This didn't sell. It actually transferred, it looks like, from this wallet to a new wallet for whatever reason. So this one I'm kind of excluding. But you can see here, if we sum all these wallets here, the top 40, as you can see, it 31 million increase over the last almost 2 weeks. And you can see 18 million is that, so still increase of 13 million in the top 40 wallets. They're not selling. They're adding more or holding, which is great to see. And I think this is the key, is that we have a great holder base here. And these folks hold about 38% of supply, I should say, not including the Elan Pump Fund wallet. And so that's a large chunk of the supply here, the top 40 wallets. And if these holders remain convicted, we have a great chance of hitting that escape velocity once we start pumping. And, we need to talk about the community, and the community has grown by quite a bit over the last month or so, almost at 6,000 members here on X, which is great. So don't forget, you can post in the Monkey community, and then the Monkey community folks that are checking this regularly will see your posts. So I recommend doing that. Those posts will still show in your regular timeline, but it's a good way to reach the Monkey community. And I also want to talk about the chart and avoiding that all-time high mindset, I think someone called it. Someone had a great post about it. I can't remember who it was, maybe a couple weeks ago, that we tend to remember the all-time high in our wallet. So like if you held Monkey and it was up at 2 or 3 million, a few months ago, in your mind you might think, oh wow, it's only at 346,000, and think you need to rush to get back to that, or be disappointed in Monkey, or be impatient because it's not headed up there right away. But that's not the right way to do it, and that's if you have that mindset, you're going to be stressing out more. You're going to be maybe making some erratic trades and that type of thing. But if you kind of reset it and say, right now at 346,000, is Monkey a good buy? Is it a good coin? Is it a good community? For me, the answer is yes. And so I'm not stressed out about what it was before or how high my bags were. I'm just worried about now. Is it a good buy? And I think it is. So I've been adding more because I think it's a good buy. And I think if you get away from that all-time high mindset, then you stop chasing losses and trying to rush things and making some of these erratic moves. So just keep that in mind as you go about your day and make investment decisions. Don't do it based on what the all-time high was and trying to get back to that. Do it based on right now, if it's a good value, if you make the investment again at this price, and then act accordingly. All right, back. I want to show you also back on 1/2, there was about 36 wallets with 0.5% or higher. Now on the 13th, there's 40 wallets with 0.5% or higher. So the number of larger wallets is increasing. We have some folks like this person here that I already pointed out that has added 3 million since the beginning of January and went from zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.7. So that is something that we're seeing, is that folks are creeping up and getting closer to that 1% and getting above 0.5%. And to me, if you like the project, this is the way to do it. Just gradually add and build up your bag right now during this accumulation phase, because once we start running, it's going to be too late to buy at these prices. Still going to be a good buy even at 1 million, 3 million, but not as good as now. You've got a 10x from here to 3.5 million, and this is the way to go. I think DCA is the way. All right, let's look at X here and some of the posts here. Eddie says, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Create your own luck. I think that's an important concept, whether you believe in luck or not. Some people say, oh, so-and-so got into such and such coin early. That's lucky. I need that type of luck. But they may have been working, glued to the computer, making smart moves and working hard. And then it looks like it's luck, right? And I think that's what they'll say with Monkey, is that it's luck, but it's not luck. We've been sitting here. It's not easy to hold sometimes through a 90% pullback, but that's what we've got here. And so we're not lucky. We're just very early and convicted. Ash Robbins says, we now live in a time where it has never been more important to find different unique ways to accumulate wealth. The cost of living is increasing, jobs are paying less and less, and the system is against you. The best thing you can do is solely focus on finding ways to make money, build a brand, or build a business so none of the outside noise can affect your life. This is why I've dedicated my life to trading and making content in crypto. This is still the best place to go from $100 to $1 million if you put in the effort. And I think he makes a great point here. And specifically with Monkey, we have a great opportunity to really make that generational wealth. We need to put in the effort though. And that's a key thing, is I think, the luck part is finding Monkey and stumbling upon Monkey so early. And I think now is the time to put in the effort, like Ash says, and keep pushing, making new content, making new memes, being a reply guy, whatever your specific area is. We can do that and work hard, put in the effort, and make that generational wealth that we're looking for. Lil Toro here has a post. I know him and others post this quite a bit, but I always like to repost them here. Anyone here could be a millionaire in 3 months. Think about it for a minute. From 0 to a million, from February to May, lock in. And so this is sort of a engagement driving type post, but I think it is true. If we lock in, hold, have some conviction, we get that spark that we're looking for here with Monkey, I think it could send and we could all get that generational wealth here. Kaleo says, fellas, I can't stress this enough. Bitcoin will send well above 100K again. We'll see another massive alt season that happens with that move. It's not a matter of if, but when. Similar to how silver bulls sounded insane for years, you probably feel slightly crazy right now. All it takes is a few green candles to go from people laughing at you to people begging you for advice. Keep your conviction and focus on positioning yourself for when that day comes. Work harder when everyone else is complaining about how much things suck. Stay bullish. So I think this is a good post here. I think we're going so much higher with crypto, with the Trump stuff, and just the way things are going with the institutions. We're going way higher with Bitcoin, and that's going to flow down to altcoins and memes. And we're in great position with Monkey. We just need to stay strong, keep stacking, and have some conviction, believe in something here. Axis A says, always easier to run it back once the Jeets are out. Days of red candles can get wiped out in a few hours. Conviction isn't just holding, it's holding through the 80 to 90% drawdowns and buying more. If it was easy, everyone would do it and be rich. 100% true. So we found the coin. Now we need to hold with conviction, add more when we can, and hold that supply. So 80 to 90% drawdown, we've got that. We did it. We survived. We're still alive. Now we just need to have conviction and hold, or buy more if you're so inclined. I thought this was interesting. 0 says Troll went from 280 million to 28 million and somehow it's still here. That's not weakness, that's sellers running out. Months of boring chop, no hype, no panic, just price refusing to die. That's how real bottoms form. Meme coins don't disappear, they go quiet, let everyone leave, then remind people why they mattered. And let's be honest, meme season without troll pumping feels wrong. Billions. So this is similar to what Axis Ace said. If you look at that chart here, looks similar to Monkey, right? Obviously, this is quite a bit higher at 280 million, but the drawdown's 90%, and it's still here. Troll's still alive, and that's how Monkey is. Monkey's still alive. We didn't go anywhere. But look at the potential for Monkey at 346,000 market cap compared to some of the higher market caps like Troll. So I love Troll in the community there, but Monkey to me is an insane value at 346,000. We can do what Troll did, and that'd be a huge percentage gain from here, and we'd all be rich. So just keep in mind, like Axis A said, the Jeets are out. Same with Troll. Monkey's the same. Jeets are out. Bottom's in. It looks like we didn't go anywhere. I think we can send. Troll could also send here. Shadow says at any moment you can change your life. Financially, those life-changing opportunities get no better than memes in terms of speed. Best place on earth to get generational wealth. I wake up excited whether it's a great day or a challenging one because I know it's all part of the process of reaching that final destination, not settling for nothing less than greatness. Let's win. So I agree. We, I think, are on the cusp of changing our lives here for the better, and we can hold here. And I'm the same. I wake up every day excited to see if this could be the day that we send, and also trying to figure out what I can do and what we can do as a community to bring about that change here. Max Bid posted the art here, and you can see monkeys included here. So shout out to MaxBid. Thank you. MaxBid's been including Monkey for many months, and I love that. He's got a lot of different memes with Monkey here, which is incredible. So follow MaxBid and support this account for supporting Monkey. I just want to say I think we are doing great as a community. Just keep up the good work, stay active, and I will see you all tomorrow.